Hello, ladies and gentlemen. PK Demonoid here, bringing you a blast from the past expert style. We have, in the far left, Vagabond Ourk, an old French expert, versus on the other side, FS Intox, a Thor expert. In this exciting match on Highland, we're going to be looking at Vagabond Ourk's really old but really effective super fast heroic with Oranos, and then we're going to be examining the rush out of the Thor player. So the first thing that Vagabond Ourk is going to be doing, I'm just going to speed this up a little bit, he sends his first villager straight to be building a dock, and his second is going to go to food. See right here he has Hunt right off of his main TC. So after he builds this dock, he sends his villager over to wood. Meanwhile, he's scouting. We're going to look at his Fog of War just for 1 second, and you'll see that he sends his oracles in a pattern so that it will get the most surface area in the least amount of time. So you're going to build 2 fishing boats and then stop so you can build up enough wood so you can build a house. And then once he builds his house, he's going to send that villager over to food again. So your 4th villager goes to food also. He's going to be doing the fast variant of this, and since he's going to be having enough food from these fishing ships, he's also going to be delaying FS Intox's food income off of this side of the map. However, the Thor player on the other side of the map has already been building up his dock, so the Thor player is going double dock, which is something that you rarely see nowadays because it takes time off from building the temple, and thus your classical age time. So we're going to see, as every Oranos player goes, Ourk is upping through Prometheus, and he's going to hit around 4 minutes and 40 seconds, which is about average for a water map. So what happens after he advances, however, is not standard. He's going to queue up 1 more Promethean for a total of 2, and then he's going to be targeting this dock down. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Thor...
Correct. Yuji?
over here. This is pretty much standard. There's not going to be a huge battle early on in the game, but there will be these small skirmishes which prevent any huge expenditures of resources. So it looks like Intox is using his Valkyrie to harass this villager, but Ourk is almost to the 800 food necessary, and he's going to be going heroic at about 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Meanwhile, in terms of the Thor rush, this is a very fast rush. Usually the Thor players won't build more than two longhouses, but it looks like Intox is going to go to 3. And I wouldn't be surprised. There he goes. He's building a 4th longhouse, so he's going to have a lot of units out. And Thor's main bonuses apply to the Ulfsark, so we're going to see a lot of Ulfsarks coming out of here. But it looks like, there we go, Ourk is going up heroic, meaning that he's going to have those Stymphalian birds up very soon, and he's going to have his Arcus and Destroyer combo. So I'm just going to speed up until he actually hits the heroic age, so that we know what he's actually going to do once he hits it. So look. Right around the 7-minute mark, not only is Intox fully saturated on his fishing, but he also has been fighting over here on water, and he still has 8 units coming to attack, along with his Valkyrie, which has been scouting around. So this is a pretty strong rush, considering the fact that Ourk right now has 41 population. So it's 41 versus 75. So, like, this rush is very strong. Really, all Intox would have to do to win this game right here would just be to attack this gold mine, probably take out this tower, and he's in the clear to win. Now, let's see if he's actually scouted that. He's not actually scouted the gold mine, so he's just going to be checking on this side to see if it's actually there. So we're going to see that here comes the Heroic Age. However, I don't think that Ourk actually has enough resources to go straight off and build a palace. He does not. He does not have enough wood. So he's just going to be content with building 2 barracks for now so he can hold off this initial pressure. But as we see, this initial pressure is quite strong. It pushed him all off wood over here, and he has 4 villagers not collecting any resources. Now these Dryads are quite strong considering the fact that most of Intox's Herser on the other side of the map and aren't really attacking, but there's still a strong force coming off of these 4 longhouses. So this 4 longhouse rush with water is quite effective, and look at the strength of this army. It's only 42 population to, I think, Intox is maxed out. So any other player right now would probably just lose the game, and it looks like Intox is very close to winning right here. However, Ourk will hold on, and we still have about half the game to go. So let's just see how we can hold this off. So it
Correct.
build his palace. Once he gets the palace up, he can start building destroyers and hopefully start to win the game. So it looks like Intox realizes that he's done quite a bit of damage, and he's going to be kind of passive for now. I'm not sure if I agree with being passive since he has such a huge army advantage. Meanwhile, we see that we only have 1 Byreme attacking some barracks, not a big deal, and it looks like Intox is trying to push Ourk off gold. Pushing your opponent off gold is the easiest way to win in Age of Mythology, which is why obviously Intox is trying to do it. Now here comes the Economic Guild. Still no palace. He still does not have enough gold. Minor raid here. I think it was a boar or something. Okay, so it looks like I'm not sure why Intox is refusing to fight this army. He does have a superior army. The only thing that's going to be painful are killing out these 2 Stymphalian birds. So okay, here comes a raid with some raiding cavalry. That's going to go try to attack this gold. But here comes a big battle. Looks like Intox is just going to retreat. He realizes that with these 3 birds out, he doesn't really have the strength and army he wants. Plus, he just hit Heroic. So he does have Flaming Weapons. Flaming Weapons is going to be quite key in a battle ahead. And moving back to Ourk's side, he still has not built a palace. So, however, he is massing up these Arcus, which are going to do quite well against anything that Intox has. Because not only do Arcus counter the Ulfsarks, they also counter the Throwing Axemen. So, Ourk actually is maxed out. He has a pretty large army, and in comparison to Intox, he's doing pretty well actually. Hitting that really fast Heroic Age is going to give him these Arcus, which, as I mentioned earlier, counter most of Intox's army. So this blast from the past, this style of play has really gone out of fashion, but it's still quite strong. So it looks like Ourk is going to be trying to find the gold so he can push Intox off gold. Intox is throwing up a hill fort, but he still has this main infrastructure over here, which is really going quite uncontested. Meanwhile, these medium raiding cavalry are doing huge amounts of damage. Now, if you're ever against an Atlantean player and you're a Thor, an Odin, or a Loki, raiding cavalry are the bane of these players. You might think that having a really highly mobile army of maybe Terma and Murmillo, and then in the Heroic Age, the Arcus and Destroyer would basically counter that. However, the raiding cavalry are faster than basically anything that the Oranos player can ever have. So it's not like you're ever going to be outrun if you're raiding. So the hill fort is going to go down without even the aid of any destroyers, and it looks like as though most of Intox's army is going to die, actually. Intox tried to raid this town center, however, it was able to be built. And we're kind of at a stalemate here. Vagabond Ourk has a large army, however, he is also being raided and he needs to kind of regroup. Because once he regroups, I feel that he can just take out this infrastructure here in the middle, maybe pop block Intox for a while, and then win the game from here. So somehow Ourk is turning this game around. I thought originally he was just going to lose the game straight out because of that 4 barracks Thor rush. However, he's done it. I mean, he's 145 pop, so he's on 3 town centers, and then Intox is only at a 115 population because he's losing all these houses as I mentioned earlier. So this battle is really key. If Ourk can get this town center up and then have a 4-2 TC advantage, well, actually currently it's only a 4-1, but he's going to be building up the second TC anytime now. And it looks like these medium Arcus are just going to work on the Ulfsark and Throwing Axemen main army of Intox. So poor Intox has been taken aback by this really fast heroic, which enabled Ourk to get out the Arcus, which countered most of Intox's army, and then he's eventually going to win the game. So we see here, these Stymphalian birds are also really key if you're an Atlantean player. Basically, the Norse players don't really have any way to counter Stymphalian birds. And here comes the flaming weapons, however, the Intox is making, these catapulties do quite a lot of damage against the Jarls, and just one Dryad raid pulls out 6 of those Jarls. And furthermore, raids on this side to get the gold. This game has been this game was in control of Intox until eventually Ourk managed to pull ahead with his fast heroic. And now it's 180 pop to 103. And any second now, Intox is going to tap out and showcase the amazing power of the old experts. So my challenge to you guys watching is try the strategy out. Go on ladder and try against maybe an Egyptian player, a Thor player, an Odin player. Try the fast heroic out, see how it works, and report back. This is PK Demonoid. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.